where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Community Landscaping, your local dedicated experts, providing top-notch lawn care services and transforming your outdoor space. Expert mowing and trimming, precision edging and blowing, irrigation solutions, hardscaping designs, and even low-maintenance artificial turf. Community Landscaping, your full-service landscape design and maintenance company in Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, and 30A. Call Community Landscaping for a free quote, 850-704-5267.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WPLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
He looked over and goes, that language, boy, that language. You got to talk that way on all your shows. He goes, I don't know. You could probably have to change that to make it in this thing. And he said, and years went on, I ran into him again. He walks up to me and goes, Who would ever know? Who would ever know?
Don't change a thing.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, he did. He said it was crazy. Anyway, we're live here at J. Michael's Studios at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got the one and only Dr. Glenn Manley in the building with his Arnold shirt on. You look good in it. Bay.
Yeah.
Bay stuff on.
It gets confusing, huh?
Yeah.
I know it. Do you?
And the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Kovaleski, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning.
And the guy that's put me in 2 Hall of Fames right beside me. Without him, I'd have never done anything. Jim Bob Brandt.
You know, I never thought about that, but you're right.
I mean, it's true. I got all the. You paid me a lot of money. I appreciate it. I really do.
So you're going to raise my pay today? Is that what you're going to do?
What you get now? Double it. Double it. Just do it.
Well, what you used to do, you used to give me Rudy's cards that were expired. Okay? So you probably got some Rudy's cards at home. You can pass my
Turn
way.
his mic off. But we were at the Cajun place. Bill and Sue Solomon, King Solomon family went with us. We had a great time. Saw Jan, Trudy, spent some time with them. And a lot of people came up and talked to us. It was wonderful people down there. Everybody's having a great time watching the ball game, Penn State, Notre Dame. What a great game.
Yeah.
If you love defense, it's a good game. The second half was really good. But anyway, Mr. Cincinnati was there.
Yeah.
Our great caller that loves the Cincinnati Bearcats, he called in, and I met his dad. I'm telling you, his dad is probably, I don't think he's tall as Jim, but he's about that height. Maybe as tall as Jim. But he looks like he still can play.
Really?
The guy grew up in Ohio. He told me where he played at in
Just
Ohio.
built different.
Yeah, I said, man, I told him, I said, well, you guys were always bigger than us. You know, y'all actually had weight rooms. Y'all had money to feed yourselves. In the South, we starved to death.
Oh, my God.
And we had to get up and walk to
We're
school.
born sharecroppers.
Both ways, uphill, in the snow.
Anyway, we got a caller. Is that what you tell me? All right, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are y'all this morning?
Hey, what's up?
Rob, what are you doing, buddy?
I had to call and get some things adjusted on the radio because you couldn't hear y'all.
Oh, okay,
Anyway, we got all that fixed. I just thought I'd stay on. Hey, did y'all watch that game on TV last night?
Which game was that?
Well, the reason that I asked was the crowd volume so loud that you could not hear the announcers?
I didn't know. We couldn't hear it anyway.
Yeah, it was pretty loud.
Okay.
It was really a blessing when you can't hear them.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
I got that sometimes, but it's gotten to the point where all you hear now on the ball games is the crowd noise.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like listening to those guys.
I didn't hear it that out of whack for
Especially
my.
Tony Romo on NFL. God, I hate that guy's voice.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry if that rude interruption. Go ahead.
At least I know that it is, because it's irritating to some of us that are kind of hard of hearing,
Right.
especially when you want.
What'd you say?
Some type of an extra right. Exactly.
Put it on.
Hey, let me ask you something. When they put y'all's plaque up there in the Hall of Fame, why do they not give some kind of credit to the people that do actually get you there? They should have They should have somebody looking over your shoulder, like Jim and all these.
He was there. His back hurts a lot, believe me.
Like Beavo's back. Yeah.
Well, you got Bobby Bowden, but you also should have one there. You should have one there with Chuck Amato and Mickey Andrews,
yes.
and
Coach Rick.
Coach Rick, yeah.
Right. Well, right, and that's what I'm saying is that it's kind of like it just seems like they don't give him a whole lot of credit.
Well, it's like at Bay High School. It's all about Glenn Manley, and that's it.
Here's the
I mean,
thing.
nobody else gets any credit at Bay High School but Glenn Manley. People are sick of that.
On my Hall of Fame picture, the guy's standing way over the top of me. He's not over my shoulder.
Now, we have the legend in our room today. I'm going to ask you a question. He keeps talking about that 115 that the Vandergrifts are going to open up on Harrison Avenue. Now, they were both kickers, were they not? Were you not their mentor? So shouldn't you have a room in that place somewhere?
I should.
They gave him a special room,
Yeah, they
believe
gave me
me.
one.
You should have a special place. Glenn Manley.
It says his on it, the front of it.
That's right.
They got a big
Wash
picture
your
as
hands
walk in.
before you leave. Right there.
Look to the right of the sink. There's a picture of Glenn right there.
There'll be a room back there for the kickers, and there'll be 2 chairs in there.
Well, they were
They'll
both
be
kickers,
short
were
on
they
one.
not?
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Rob, talking about Mickey, I think he's one of the greatest coaches around, defensive coordinator. He could have been a great head coach, I think. And I loved Mickey Andrews.
Well, he was at
Always.
Livingston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love that.
He's a
man.
perfect example of somebody you can be hard on, but still the players love you because they care about you.
Hey,
Because
the players bought him a truck, right? Didn't they buy him a truck?
they loved him, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, you know,
Go ahead.
guys like Mickey, that goes to show you what we're missing this day and age is loyalty.
Amen.
You know?
Yeah.
He was one of I guess he was the guy, him and oh gosh, now he's still there now as the interim head coach or whatever.
Odell Higgins?
Odell, yeah.
Yeah, Odell that came back, you know. And I will say this, that Bobby Bowden probably turned more student athletes to Jesus Christ than any other coach in college.
Yeah,
you know, and
coaches too.
You lose one or two, or you know, that do bad things or whatever. But the majority of the athletes that came through Tallahassee are great people.
Yeah. Hey,
I
Rob,
think you see that with Marcus Freeman now too. If you listen to their players and the people around
Marcus,
the program,
I'm impressed with that
You
guy.
know, and if you ever watched the 30 for 30, what was it Randy Moss or one of them that got into trouble? He went to Notre Dame, then to Florida State was trying to get him, and he was going to come, and then he got in trouble a couple more times and ended up at Miami.
No, it was Marshall. If it's Randy Moss.
Yeah,
that did that, and Give Lou Holtz, Bobby Bowden, and I don't even remember who was the coach in Miami at the time, but
he's in prison.
They saved that man. They saved that man's life.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, you mentioned Odell. You would not believe what a great high school football player he was. He played at Bartow High School. It was our big rival game, and that guy, nobody could. Let me say this again. Nobody could block him. I mean, you're wasting your time even going that side of the ball. He was a man playing with boys. He really was. They won a state. I think they won the state championship. I think he was on
like
that
number
team. 11 last night. Yeah, kind of like that. Seriously, kind of like that.
That was amazing.
He's a great kid.
Well, my son was little. He was probably 8 or 9 years old and went to the Bobby Bowden camp. Odell was his camp leader or whatever when he was there. And every year after that he went, he got Odell, and him and Odell, even today, if he sees Odell on the sideline or whatever, Odell remembers Trey, and and they talk and stuff, and but he's a great man.
That's the way Bobby Bowden and that whole staff was. I went to camp maybe there twice when I was 15, but even when they came over later when I was coaching basketball at Bay High, recruiting Bert, they remembered me, asked about my mother. I mean, they were genuine people. They cared about people. They weren't just doing that because they might think you were good at football. They talked to everybody like that, which is why I love Bobby Bowden. I love that staff. Yep. I mean, Rick was the same way. What a great man. And I love Mickey, even though he chewed me out and cussed me out. I deserved it, and it made me just respect him even more because the defensive lineman.
Spit a little tobacco on you and all that.
Yeah.
Well, he had sunflower seeds. He had sunflower seeds, but you
that was later on in life.
No, he had some tobacco back then. Yeah, it stunk on my face when it hit me.
Yeah, we worked in that clinic, and we talked to Mark Rick. We worked how they did the shallow cross stuff, and so we were up in the Moore Center, and he says, "I got to go, but I'm turning this thing on." He said, "When y'all get through, turn it off. Just ride the elevator down into the lock." So we're up there by ourselves watching the video.
Didn't he wasn't Mickey the one that said, "No, go get Glenn. We got to get Glenn the pitcher"?
Coach Bowden did, but Mickey and Conrad put him up to it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they were signing Jared, didn't they?
Jared Moon.
Yeah, they would come over. They would come over to the to the ball games and stuff, and they always sat on the visitor side, kind of up on the left hand side up there, Tommy Oliver. And you could go over there and during the breaks or in the quarters and stuff, they talk with you, and sit and giggle and laugh, but not to bother them while the game's going on. But they're always good. That bunch of guys that were at Florida State, and they probably were at Florida and all the colleges and stuff.
Bob Saunders used to come up from Florida all the time, and he would be the guy.
Spurrier had a good staff too. Dan Reeves was over there, I believe, was quarterback coach. He was really a good man too. I mean, he had issues early in life, but I think he broke the USFL passing record. I mean, they had some good guys over there. That was the best camp I went to for quarterbacks. Coach Bowden probably had the better camp for like defense line, offense line, and the rest. But quarterbacks, Spurrier was like the quarterback whisperer back there. So everybody in the country came to go to camp over there. But he's a little bit different. He had that quirkiness, almost like a mad scientist about his personality. But he's still seen that he was an authentic guy.
Right. You know, and I mean, he didn't ever have to have a playbook or anything else.
No, it was in his head.
Right. He was a really good, great guy. So, anyway, guys, y'all have a good show. Have a good weekend. Be safe, and I'll listen to y'all on Monday.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Glenn, you got any local stuff?
I do. Last night in boys basketball, it was Graceville 56, Cottondale 53. It was Bethlehem 45 and Poplar Springs 35. It was Quincy Monroe. I guess it's just Monroe right now. 68, Sneeds 35. And girls basketball, I got to give a shout out to the Bay High girls. They did not win last night. They got beat on a last second shot, but the team that they only beat, they got beat 47-43, but earlier in the year, the team had beat them by 26 points.
Wow,
so
good improvement.
Yeah, they're getting the culture back there, so congratulations. In other girls basketball, it was Rutherford 58, Blountstown 26. Wow. It was South Walton 52, Arnold 22, and it was North Bay Haven 48 and Destin 35, and it was Choctaw, it was defeated by Niceville 49-42. That's the girls basketball. Boys soccer, Arnold's still doing it. Arnold 4, West Florida 0, and that was supposed to be a big-time district game. So good for them. Girls soccer, Crestview 2, Freeport 1, and then if you want to see basketball tonight at Bay High, Rutherford's coming to town, so Rutherford's coming over. That'd be a big game to watch. So
the biggest rivalry in Bay County sports, Bay High Rutherford basketball right
yes,
there.
Yes, sir. Yep. So get out there and watch or go support your favorite school. I'm sure people are playing tonight, so go out there and do that.
Just got a text in for Jeff Spiegel, and the snow up in Birmingham is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We don't,
it'll be shut down for 3 months. They don't know how to drive in the snow.
I'll tell you what, they will shut down. They have already shut down the schools. University of Alabama shut down.
I feel sorry for anybody that's flying really anywhere because Atlanta is snowing, it's snowing and ice mix there. I mean, even as we speak right now,
it's the ice is the problem.
Yeah, right. And most flights either switch over in Atlanta or one of those mini airports.
I'm wondering how everything's going in Dallas. Are people be able to get in there to the game? I haven't heard anything lately. I know they're going to play the game. We know it's going to go on. Like Reese Davis, Saban, all those guys, they were leaving after the game. I get they got their own private jet.
Right.
And they were going to go fly into there.
Supposedly the ice is going to be melted by tomorrow, but that doesn't mean anything for today. I know a couple people that had their flights canceled. They're trying to reroute them into Houston. I think it's American Airlines that's doing more of the cancel. I think Delta's still flying.
Well, once they get in Houston, how are they going to get there? Have to drive?
Yeah.
Which is even worse.
Which is worse, yeah, because they don't have, plows. They don't have salt trucks over there, so they don't have the equipment to kind of clear the roads. So I think it'd be easier to fly in, but we'll see. The game's going to go on. The logistics of postponing a game like that would be a nightmare.
Right.
So,
but don't they have the NFL playoffs?
Yeah, so they don't want to compete against that.
Right. All right, let's talk about some of our great, outstanding. We just talked about it a minute ago. The Local 115, brand new, in downtown historical Panama City. This is going to be a great place, and it's getting closer and closer as we speak. And we'll let you know the exact date it will be opening up. And I'm telling you, I will say I think we're within a week. It's going to be an oyster bar, sports theme. We got the Vandegrift family, legendary family. Kyle, then some great partners. They're going to open this thing up. You can go in there, you see rosters of Bay High School football back in 1966. Some of the things they've got in there is incredible. And it's not just Bay. They got all the schools, Mosley, Rutherford. They got everything, all kind of stuff from all the different schools in there. So all you old-timers, you want to go in there, eat, and see your old picture and see your old name or something like that, and I think you're going to be able to do that. They're going to have oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, soup, salads, wings, ice cold beer, wine, and nothing fried. It's kind of a healthier option. Open for lunch and dinner. The Local 115 on Harrison Avenue, historical downtown Panama City. J. Michael's Restaurant. Glenn's buying me lunch today. Cannot wait for that. Chris Fish is a special today. Grilled fish over a bed of rice, peppers, onions, a special sauce. It's really outstanding. It's popular on Fridays. They only do it on Fridays. You can get it any time, but it's specials on Friday. Get a better price on Fridays. That is J. Michael's Restaurant. The best seafood, the coldest beer. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. South Oak Title and Closing. Ask the legendary Mark Cowart. South Oak Title and Closing. That's the only place he'll go to because he sells multi-million-dollar homes in on 30A. No mistakes. Everything's perfect the first time. South Oak Title and Closing. For your real estate closing, it's South Oak Title and Closing. It's Chuck Tucker. Stevenson Air Conditioning. This cold weather. Don't worry about it. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be out there as soon as they can. They'll solve all problems. Local company taking care of locals. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. We'll be right back.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. This afternoon and evening, there will be a very strong breeze out of the south-southeast, a variety of very light showers and clouds, and 62. A variety of clouds and light sprinkles tonight, a little colder at 45. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and a high of 55. About the same at 54 Sunday, and we'll have very light rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you hear a squealing sound when you're braking? How about a clunking when turning? Shaking while under acceleration? These are all problems that Alford Tire and Service Center in Callaway can solve. With our friendly staff and trusted mechanics, we here at Alford offer a wide variety of services to keep you on the road and driving, which comes back with our nationwide warranty and easy financing options. Located in beautiful Callaway on Central Parkway, we do it all at Alford Tire and Service Center.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
Kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Listen up, all you women. Do what you're told. And when you're told.
But it wouldn't be nothing. Be a sandwich.
Right now.
Peanut butter and
That's got to be one of the greatest songs ever listened.
Better be careful now. They can call holding calls on you now in the college football playoffs.
Is that number 215-6290.
Thank you for playing that. That's if everybody out there would listen to that, don't you think we have a better place?
Julie, are you calling in?
We would.
we would. Yeah, we would. All right, we're one day away from world-breaking news. Lorelei, Grace, and Hale tomorrow will turn 7 years old. We're one day away from that great birthday party. I don't know if they're spending the night tonight or not. Leighton, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, she's having a little spend-the-night party at her house tomorrow after the party. I asked her if I was invited. She said, no, Papa. So anyway, but they're going to have a great time. Love that girl. Love Lorelei and Leighton and little Johnny. We're watching Johnny all the time now. That sucker's something else. He's 9 months old. He's walking.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
is he running a read option?
Yeah. His passing techniques are pretty good. We're not having that. Cleaning jerks, pretty good. Techniques, pretty good.
Put the footprints on the floor like you used to do in Cape Coral for Jared. Step back with your left foot.
Jared was doing sit-ups, push-ups when he was about 6 months old.
Him and Thomas Ray used to pull. When we came to Arnold, Jared was, I don't know how old he was. He used to make him pull sleds, him and Thomas Ray. Okay, they'd go out there, and Jared would have too much breakfast, and within 15 minutes, up come the Cocoa Puffs and everything else. Him and Thomas Ray. Ask Thomas Ray. He'll tell you about it.
And Jared was in 7th grade at Surfside. I made him go work out with the varsity at Arnold.
Pull that sled.
Come on, get him.
I'm only 12. I don't care.
He called the police on me. He did all kinds of stuff. It was cool. He did. He'd throw up all the time. It was crazy.
Every day.
Unbelievable.
Here comes the Cocoa Puffs.
We're going to do FSU update at 7:30. Jim's got some stuff for us there, but let's talk about last night. I thought it was a really good football. Before we get into everything, I want to say this. The most talented teams don't always win. because Penn State, I think, I still believe this, having watching the game, I think they had the most talented football team. But I said this about their coaches, their players, and I even think the same thing about Penn State players too. The character, the chemistry, everything about Notre Dame, they love that team. They love each other. You can see it. You can feel it. And they found a way to win that football game. Yeah. They found a way to win it. And you got to give that coach a lot of credit, their players a lot of credit. And who's that? What the kid, the one-arm defensive edge guy from Penn State? Carter. God bless that young man.
Yeah.
That's a big-time ball player. Guess what? He didn't sit out at halftime.
No.
He didn't go, I'm done, I broke a record.
The whole game.
He played the entire game hurt.
I think he's got a broken arm. I mean, I think it's either a dislocated shoulder.
What's the difference in his business decision and Miami's quarterback decision?
He cares about his team.
Yeah.
He cares about his teammates.
And the running back from Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, he was hurt too. He played with a knee brace.
You talk about an athlete. Did you see him leap that guy on his opposite leg? Because his right, more dominant leg was injured. He leaped off his left leg and completely cleared.
He said he wasn't going to hurt anybody, but he did it anyway.
So you see both teams, and I will say this too about Penn State. I've watched them throughout the year. I've seen those kids be interviewed. I was impressed with Penn State's players too.
Oh, absolutely.
Good character kids. They played hard.
They dominated the line of scrimmage on offense. I mean, they ran it down.
They had chances to put it away
in the first half. I think they left a lot of points out there. Unfortunately, the difference, and I thought this was going to be the difference the other way. Allard just didn't show up. The helmet seemed a little too big for him. He was like 5 for 12 at one point in the first half. That left some points on the field. And then obviously the last pick was just terrible. You can't do that. You got the ball with 33 seconds left. Either, take it overtime or you just can't turn the ball over there. And that was a bad mistake. I felt bad for him in the post-conference. He was crying. I mean,
I get so sick of hearing it was the business decision. We're older. Everyone in this room is a little bit older than, maybe have a different view than we do, the younger people. The younger people's like, that was his business decision. I get it. He's okay. I do the same thing. This was like watching old-time football where you had two teams that loved their teammates, that were committed to the program, they were going to do whatever it takes to get it done. And I have so much respect for both those programs and those players playing like they did. Notre Dame was fighting through a flu.
Yeah,
and they all played. They didn't sit out. They were injured. They played. They didn't sit out. And they played the whole game. And you saw that the edge guy from Penn State, probably a first-round draft pick.
No question. He was a defensive player of the year in the Big Ten. Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah, 19 sacks this year.
He's a freak. He's playing with one arm.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't sit out.
No.
So why don't we brag so much on them and say all these younger people, well, he probably made a poor business decision.
And I think he made a great business. Sorry, but I mean, if I'm looking at this guy, he played one arm. I'm picking him as high as I could possibly can because I know he can play hurt. He's going to go out there and he's going to play for his teammates. Right. So that's a locker room guy, and he's the most talented guy on the field. No brainer for me. He made a lot of money for himself last night.
And I have the Big Ten network. I don't know if everybody in this room has that, but I do.
Yeah.
And this week they were interviewing Marcus Freeman, the head coach at Notre Dame, and James Franklin, the head coach at Penn State. And it's no coincidence that their teams have that character because you listen to them two talk, it's like these guys got their stuff together.
Right.
Both of them. And James Franklin, we banged on him here too, because he does some bonehead, in the past he's done some bonehead things. But he's down to the Final Four. He had to do something right. You have to do something right to get to that level. And Marcus Freeman, think back to last year when Ohio State played him, and he had 10 guys in the field, 2 plays in a row.
Right.
And everybody was ripping him. How can you be the head coach and only have 10 guys in the field? And he got beat by Northern Illinois this year. You talk about Ohio State losing to Michigan as a bad loss. Well, how about Notre Dame was playing for the national championship, losing to a MAC team?
Yeah.
You talk about a bad loss. And since then, it's just made them better. So all the people get all worked up about, losing to bad teams. Well, nobody feels worse about it than the players and the coaches. And they know they were there. They lived it. And they've I was impressed with both of them, big time.
Yeah. One thing I do want to say about the game, quit blaming James Franklin for everything that happens that goes wrong. I mean, everybody wants to say, he shouldn't have went for it, with 30 seconds left. If he would have sat on that ball with 30 seconds left, the fans would have obliterated him.
I mean, would have been the other way.
Saying that, though, if it goes in overtime, I think Penn State wins.
I do, too. But you got to go for it. I mean, you got to be aggressive.
That comes down to your quarterback making a terrible decision.
He threw the ball across his body, rolling to his left, throws the ball across the body, which you never do. And that kid made a great interception. Let's take his phone call. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, LSU, Jeff?
Oh, man. Yeah, Penn State gave that game away at the end. It was Drew Allar that he's the one who gave it away.
Yeah.
I think McElroy was the one to put
he threw his own. His passing was not great, and he gave that interception, at the time where they could have taken a knee and just gone into overtime, and it could have gone either way, I think, in the overtime.
Okay, I got to throw this out there for the LSU people. So what about Brian Kelly saying that he wants to go to a place where he can win a national championship because you can recruit better, and Notre Dame's playing for the whole thing? How does that work? How's that work?
I don't really believe that's stupidity because, listen, let me tell you about the first time I ever saw Nick Saban. I was in Shreveport, Louisiana for the Poulan Weed Eater Bowl and the Independence Bowl there in Shreveport. And LSU was playing Michigan State, and Nick Saban was on the sidelines for Michigan State. And I think that's the aha moment where Nick Saban realized he had to come south to get all the talent, because all the talent's in the South. Well, not all of it, but I mean, as far as speed goes.
Yeah.
And
all of it. Just say all of it. They'll handle it.
All
they
the paid talent.
No. You have hard-nosed runners, and you have big linemen, and you have a lot of great quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to wide receivers, especially, a lot of defensive backs and some running backs. Even Genty's from frickin' Jacksonville. Come on, So anyway, but that game last night, that guy Tyler Warren for Penn State, he's great. The Wheatley guy on defense for Penn State was great, but that guy Greenhouse from Notre Dame, he was a catching machine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good game. I liked it.
Yeah, the second half especially. It started kind of slow.
Before the year started, I said I'm against 12-team playoff. And even to this point right now, I can say, even in hindsight, 8 teams is the most they should be having in the playoffs. Now we've created this Cinderella scenario where a team that shouldn't win it all could or can win it all
because of injuries.
It's just like basketball. And I still think that Georgia and Oregon are absolutely a top 3 team, both of them, and none of them are in it.
No.
And oh, really? Well, Georgia's quarterback was
top 3 team. Georgia got beat on a neutral field by a Notre Dame team that's one-dimensional. So and they got dominated on offensive line. So
they lost to Alabama, 9-4 team. They lost to Ole Miss. Ole Miss got a good football team though.
Yeah.
But Alabama doesn't.
Georgia was missing their quarterback and only scored 10 points on a Notre Dame team.
Hey, Jeff, we got
now potentially going to win it all.
We got to take a break, but we said this way before the season started. To win a championship and play all these games, who's going to be healthy? It's going to be coming down to luck, schedule, being healthy, not turning the ball over. Those are the factors to win a game and doesn't win a game. If Georgia's all healthy throughout the year, they probably would be up there. I do believe that, but they weren't, and nobody is. Ohio State, as good as they are, they're 2 of their starting offensive linemen aren't even playing. They're not their best center. Our center, Alabama's center, is at Ohio State. They actually teach him how to snap the ball.
You guys ran them off.
Yeah, that's how brilliant we were.
Unanimous All-American, Remington Award winner.
We don't want you.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Now, you want to hear the smear campaign? They're talking that Ohio State's a 4th-place Big Ten team, and they're going to be winning it all, maybe?
They got the chance.
Okay.
It is what it is.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. You want to hang on? You got to go.
No, I'll hang on.
All right, we'll let you hang on for a second. We got to do our FSU update too. We'll do that at 7:45. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. The legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell every Monday right here in the Glenn Manley studio. You will absolutely love listening to the legend. Did he actually do your surgery on you?
Who's that?
Chad.
Yeah, on my knees.
Well, I was talking about that other body part. Anyway, great job by Dr. Chad. He does it by the robotics. He can do it the old-fashioned way. The guy's incredible. If you want to make an appointment, call, and he will make an appointment with you. All right, that Cajun place. We had a great time there last night. We're going to go there today at 6 and watch the Buckeye. Jared wants to go, so we're going to go there and watch the first half and go home and watch the second half. Ohio State, Texas. Kickoff is at 6:30 on ABC. Kickoff actually is going to be about 6:45, 6:50, but they start covering everything. It'll be on the SEC Network today. Everything you can think about starting at 2 o'clock. You can watch. They got a lot of information on both sides, both teams. They do a good job with all that. I have watched the Big Ten. I don't know what time they're coming on today. Do you?
No.
But anyway, heck, around 2 o'clock you can start watching everything you want to watch about this ball game. This is. If you want to watch the national championship game, it's tonight. Whoever wins this game tonight is going to win in my opinion, will win the national championship.
I believe that.
Get down to the Cajun Place, have a great time. $5 pitchers, the best wings you'll get anywhere. Saw Jan Trudy last night there. We had a great time. Bill and Sue Solomon went. We had a wonderful time down there. And thank you for all the people coming up and talking to us. I love seeing all you people down at the Cajun Place. Newbies, you want to go watch Newbies? Newbies 2 on the Curve, go watch the games down there. Head on down to the Mothership, the best bands in the Southeast, late Friday night. Go check it out. You'll love it. John and Charlotte always giving back to the community. Make sure you support them. They got the one over there. Glenn demanded one over there at St. Andrews. He got what he wanted. Yep. Newbies 4 is right there.
Yep.
We'll be right back. 104.3. I'm sorry. What's going on? Well, I'll ask you when we get back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents Wrestling Against Cancer 10. Proceeds to help Ryan Holland. Stars to appear Mike Steele, Donnie B, AJ Stokes, Kelly Man, and exciting women's wrestling with T. Gaines, JC Black, and more. Wrestling Against Cancer 10. Saturday, February 8th at Bay Haven Charter Academy in Panama City. Tickets available at the door. More info at ESPNPC.com.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Hello?
Honey, my radio is making this loud squeaking noise when I'm stopping my car. I really think I might need new speakers.
Oh, why don't you try turning down the radio, hon?
It just got worse.
Maybe we should take it down to Alford Tire and Service Center, and maybe they can figure out what's going on. At Alford Tire and Service Center, we provide peace and quiet with the radio off. So if your car is making a strange noise, come and see us for your free visual safety inspection today. Located on Tyndall Parkway in beautiful Callaway, we do it all at Alford Tire and Service Center.
In 2025, come on down to that boot store and pick out something that will help make 2025 a year to remember. Choose from one of the largest selections of Western wear and accessories you'll find in the area and at affordable prices. For the hard worker, there's name brand, Carhartt work clothes in all the right sizes with plenty to select from. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burke Kia 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store where God is good all the time.
He doesn't try on clothes at the department stores. He just rips stuff off the hanger and lives with the consequences for years.
It's classy, it's intriguing. He's sexy, sassy, and full of spunk.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back.
So where Manley was on? Riding his Harley was on that? Bad Boys?
Oh, yeah, Glenn was a bounty hunter for years before he got into coaching. He was
him and Dog.
He was out in Hawaii. They made a series about him, but some blonde-headed guy took over the part main lead.
I'm a bounty hunter. I go look for the paper towels at the supermarket.
Anyway, all right, we're back. We got Jeff on the line. Jeff, you made a comment that it kind of offends me. You and like a lot of people in the Southeastern Conference believe this, and I our beliefs here, and I'll say ours. We live in the South. We got the best players. We got the best stadiums. We got the best coaches. We got the best bands. And we look at that. We look down upon everybody else in the country. And we're finding out this year that's not true. The Big Ten is the best conference in college football this year. But you're right about that. Mostly, 99% of the time you're right about that. We are just better than people from up north. Anyway.
If you hear noise, it'll be a rumble. Somebody's jumping on.
No, I want to ask the two Buckeye boys.
You got any more All-American safeties we could borrow?
I want to ask the Buckeye boys. Do y'all, because we do say that a lot.
And you mean it.
Yeah, we do.
You mean it now.
We do. We're just better than y'all than football.
That's what you think.
So, but how does that affect y'all? I mean, is that why they hate us so much? They hate the SEC?
No, I think we hate you because for 20 years you were able to pay players under the table, and everybody else got in trouble for doing the same thing. So, Mark Emmert oversaw the dirtiest era in college football history, and that's when the SEC took over. So that's why we hate y'all. So
Glenn,
just so we being truthful.
Can you believe he just said that? About the SEC.
Tennessee was hanging out bags of cash.
Albert Means.
And nothing.
Those kids needed help. They were hungry.
I know. Really hungry.
Don't get me into some ACC guy.
$1,000 hamburger.
Shut up, passing out bags of money.
And don't get me started on LSU and them laundering money from tax.
Jeff, can you listen to this? We're being slandered here. I mean, this is just makeup stuff by the Big Ten people.
And then you act like it didn't happen. Like
it never happened.
So it just is a coincidence that once everybody pays players, the SEC no longer is the dominant conference.
That's the reason we need to go back.
Exactly.
Get rid of NIL.
Point taken.
Yeah, but we are wrong to think that. They got great players up there. I ran into a guy last night. He played at Cincinnati, and he still looks like he can play. They've got big time ball players up there. But you are right, Jeff. You look at percentages where the NFL players come from the South. I think the weather has a lot to do with it. Hell, you're right. Never mind.
Well, no, I mean, look, and I don't want to talk about race, but here we go. You know,
I'm pretty fast.
I'm a white kid. I'm a white kid from the suburbs. Do you think I was as hungry as a poor black kid inside of the city of New Orleans or Atlanta or Miami? No, it can't be duplicated. They're hungry. They're hungry to get out from where they're at, and I didn't have that hunger that they had at a young age. I had the drive. I just didn't have the hunger, and it's a whole nother level.
Hey,
those guys are playing for their life.
You brought up something that I thought about last night when they asked him the question. You could tell he didn't like it, and I loved his response. Notre Dame's football coach, Freeman.
Marcus Freeman.
They asked him, "Oh, you're the first black coach to ever play." You could tell, like, why would you even say that? He said, it's not about that. It has nothing to do about it. And it doesn't. Nothing to do with that like that. It's about those players. Coaches don't win games. Players win the ball games.
But he had the perfect response. He said, I don't care if you're white, black, Chinese.
Yeah.
I said, I want good people that want to mentor these kids to have the opportunities.
Yeah. Did you think about during the game, there's two black head coaches? I didn't even think about one time.
No, and I don't think Marcus cares about that. He just wants to win football games. He loves those guys. He's trying to create something at Notre Dame that they haven't had in a long time. Remember, Brian Kelly said, I can't win at Notre Dame. He went in there and won. Yeah. He doesn't get enough credit. I mean, he's a young coach, and a lot of these coaches we look at, we can nitpick certain things that they decide on because they're young coaches. But if you let these guys grow, we see it with Ryan Day right now. I mean, who's a hotter coach right now than Ryan Day? I mean, they're killing everybody, and they're coming up with new wrinkles on offense, new wrinkles on defense. So that's coaching. Of course they got talent, but you got to put them in positions to succeed.
And I grew up in Montgomery, Alabama. Johnny Davis would walk to school. He played in the NFL for 11, 12 years. He was the best fullback Alabama's ever had back in the Wishbone days. Huge guy. And we had other players there that were extremely poor, and that was their path. But to say as a white black, Jeff, I'm being respectfully disagree with you. There's white kids out there go through the exact same thing. I'm one of them. They grew up in a trailer park. It wouldn't have been for football, I never would have got to go to school. So the black-white thing, it's both sides.
And you get
on the
guys,
percentage, there's more blacks probably going to Harvard.
But you got guys that are self-driven no matter what. Look at those Notre Dame kids. I mean, those kids have been probably, in good schools, good, parenthood and stuff like that. But they wanted that last night. They just were determined, played hard. I mean, you just can't substitute that inner drive in certain people. So no matter how you got it, whether it was because of adversity or because you were just mentored by somebody that was really, really tough on you and pushed you, you can get to there in any way. I mean, those kids from Notre Dame played hard. I mean,
I got more respect for the people back in the 70s, the black kids I played with at Southern Mississippi.
For sure. Yeah.
I'll never forget, I took Thad Dillard home. He played at Robert E. Lee in Montgomery. Thad was a starting nose guard for us for years at Southern Mississippi, a great player. And he said, can I get a ride to Montgomery? I said, yeah, come on. He said, can we leave early? I said, why? He goes, I don't like driving the roads at night.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want to stop. Can we just, because he didn't want to stop at a gas station. He didn't want to go to a local restaurant. And I'm like, what's wrong? And then he explained to him, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. This was back in the mid-'70s. This was going on. Stoney Parker, there's another one that played in our area that played at Southern Mississippi. The same way. Take them home. They're like, let's go, let's go. They were truly scared to drive through parts of Mississippi at night. And this was in the 70s.
I would be too.
The younger people now that play have no clue what those old guys went through.
Yeah.
They have no clue.
Right.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, Jeff, what else you got? We got to go. Jeff, we got to let you go, man. Who's going to win tonight? Who's going to win tonight?
Well, I think Ohio State's going to win. I hate to pull for the Longhorns because I'm not really a Longhorns fan, but I'm going to have to pull for the Longhorns just for the fact that, not only that it's SEC and South and everything, but, and I know we have guys that are partial to Ohio State. I think Ohio State is a better team, but the fact that you're looking at a fourth-place conference, team in Ohio State, that just, and I know their schedule is harder than Penn State and Indiana, but it's not a valid national champion to me. They shouldn't even be in there.
Okay.
And that's I don't know. It's a differing opinion.
And Texas shouldn't be in there either.
They might say that Michigan didn't deserve it last year.
Put your knives and guns away. Put the knives and guns away. Can we all get along?
Yep.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. We'll sit down Jay Michaels one of these days.
All right, have a good day.
Yeah, maybe tonight.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself. All right. Let's get talk about these great. Let's talk about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you belong?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He's committed.
No, but I know a lot of people are suffering with these little, sicknesses and stuff like that. We do have our immune products 20% off now, so it's about $36.99. But it's got zinc D3. It's got some quercetin in it that helps with help with zinc production. So, but we have a free sample bar. We have our sports nutritionist on staff if you want to get on a meal plan. I know a lot of people want to lose weight for the new year, get ready for beach season. We also have Max Fit meals. If you want somebody to help you meal prep, cook your meals for you, we could deliver those to your house. So go check out Max Fit meals anytime at gmail.com. And Max Fit is on 23rd Street, the Del Coronado Village, and in Pier Park, next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
And I tell you what, he knows he can help you in every way. You want to lose weight, he can make it happen. You want to gain muscle mass, he can make it happen. The guy's incredible. 2 great locations, and I can't say enough good things about Jason Kovaleski. We've been together now almost going on, next year will be our 10th year doing this.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Jim Bob, you love this place. We all do. Paparazzi Pizza, they got the best pizza, the best deli. And they always ask about you, too. Glenn, wherever Glenn goes, people... kind of makes me mad. I go in, I want the attention on me. It always gets around to Glenn. How's Glenn doing? Where's he at? Yeah. Is it true what they say about him? That's what I heard. I heard it is true.
He's a legend here.
Yeah. We can't say on air why, but he is a legend. There's no doubt. But you love Paparazzi. Get down there. They have the best deli around. The Paradise Cake, the chocolate cake, the carrot cake, the Napoleon cake. It's unbelievable. Pizzas are great, and get you one tonight, watch the ball game. They got a bar down there now, so you can go watch the game there and have a great time at Paparazzi right down Thomas Drive. Dr. Ward, another local legend around here. The guy's an incredible doctor, big Gator fan. If you have any kind of skin issue, it doesn't look right, feel right, 5 minutes can save your life. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Go see Dr. Ward. Call, make an appointment. It could save your life. The guy's incredible. Listen to him every Wednesday at 7:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. If you're over in Lynn Haven, watch the game over there at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Every Wednesday, 10 wings inside for $9.99. Customer service, second to none. They do an incredible job over there. Love the staff. TVs everywhere. Great atmosphere. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. And tell Pat we said hello. We'll be right back. Jim Barant, Jason Kovaleski, the myth, the man, the legend, Glenn Elvis Manley. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I'll have my normal meeting with the Crafts, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Well, we know where it went from there. He didn't get that opportunity. Probably met with the Crabs. Oh, I'd love to have seen his reaction. When you go in there and you're thinking, okay, let's build on some things. One and done. I thought the Crabs would treat him better than that.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. This afternoon and evening, there will be a very strong breeze out of the south-southeast, a variety of very light showers and clouds, and 62. A variety of clouds and light sprinkles tonight, a little colder at 45. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and a high of 55. About the same at 54 Sunday, and we'll have very light rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
I'd like to introduce.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
Milk was a bad choice.
If I could just have your attention.
60% of the time, it works every time.
If anyone wants to switch jobs, let me know.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
I have many leather-bound books.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Your FSU update is brought to you by the one and only Newbies. 4 great locations. The new one over in St. Andrews, absolutely beautiful facility. Go out there and have a great time. Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch the ball game tonight. Watch the NFL playoffs this weekend. And head on down to the mothership. Charlotte's going to have the best bands in the Southeast there every Friday and Saturday night for your pleasure, for your entertainment. They are always giving back to the community. John and Sharp, beautiful people inside and out. Go support Newbies. They support everything here in Bay County. We got Dr. Jim Brandt today giving us our update on Bama, on LSU, on FSU. FSU. I'm got my mind.
Alabama.
I got the Alabama update. They're not in it.
Yeah, they lost again. Milroe threw another interception.
I can't even get mad anymore. What do you got?
Well, some of us are talking about championships. Other ones are talking about the transfer portal. Okay, and that's Florida State. When you're 2-10, you got to hope you get some real players coming in. And I got to be honest, Jason Kovaleski is the recruiting guru in this room. He follows all this stuff. I don't do it nearly as much as I used to because there's no commitment. You know?
Right.
They'll just come and go depending upon who gives them the biggest bag. With all that being said, 24/7 has ranked with the class, or the colleges rather, that have the best transfer portal. And according to 24/7, Florida State's got the fifth best transfer portal situation coming out, with people coming in, not coming out, but coming in. They've got 16 kids that they've had transfer in. I'm just going to give it to you by what position. These are kind of what you'd expect. So Florida State's got 2 tight ends coming in, 1 quarterback. We'll talk more about him in a second. 3 linebackers, 3 defensive ends, edge rushers, which is used not as a surprise because the big thing now, can you rush the passer even with 1 arm?
Yeah.
All right. 4 offensive linemen, 2 receivers, and 1 defensive lineman. Now, of those 16 people, the guys that this article pointed out were going to be the impact players, have the best chance to be impact players, because we found out last year old DJ wasn't an impact at all at quarterback. But Thomas Castellanos from Boston College is somebody they're really high on. If you ever watched him play, you say, how good could he be? He's at Boston College, but he can really scramble around. He reminds me a lot more of Jordan Travis than the old DJ ever was, okay? So that could be a big pickup for him.
Which suits Malzahn's offense.
Yeah.
They're more run-oriented at the quarterback spot than most teams are. So.
I hate to do this, but we got to take this.
Okay.
Go ahead. Good morning.
Morning, Coach. How are you?
Good. Who is this?
It's Bearcat Chris.
Hey.
There you go.
Bearcat Chris.
Bear Crab. Boy, I had no idea how handsome you were. I saw him last night. I knew I saw his mom and dad. I said, now I know why.
Did you say bear crap, Chris? You did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Hey, listen, I was impressed. Your dad looks like he can still play.
He still thinks he can play.
We all do.
Big, good-looking guy, man. Tell everybody who your dad's name is. Tell him his first and last name.
Okay, so it's a German name. Both my grandparents were German migrants after World War II, so my dad's name's Heiner.
Okay,
so
cool.
Just, yeah. So, Heiner Steffen. But, yeah, he appreciate you coming over and saying hi. I could tell you had a genuine smile on your face. And so you weren't recruiting; you were genuine yourself. So I appreciate that.
He was. He stood up and kind of took my. I was kind of scared there for a second. He looked good. How old is he now?
He is. So he was born in '54. So he just turned 70. So he's going to be turning 71 here in May.
Now, what years did he play at Cincinnati?
He graduated high school in '72. So he played '73, 4, and 5. I think '74, 5, and 6.
Who was his head coach then?
So his defensive coordinator was Foge Fazio, and if you remember him, he was coach at Pitt. Yeah. And then the head coach, I can't remember. I know he went to Arizona State after Cincinnati, but I can't remember who his head coach was. But I know that he went to Arizona State after that.
Was it that real tough guy who got in trouble? Really?
No, he never coached at Cincinnati. I know what you're talking about. No.
Hey, listen, where did your dad play high? Because I talked to him about Jim. Jim sitting here. I talked about Jim played. I couldn't remember what seed Jim played in high school, but I think he played at Akron. Where did your dad? What seed did your dad play high school ball in Ohio?
So it's the name of the high school isn't the name of the city. It's Tecumseh High School, but it's in between Springfield and Dayton. It's like there's New Carlisle is in between Springfield and
that's my neck of the woods.
Fairborn.
Yeah, that's Jason Kovaleski territory.
I was actually born in Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, nice.
My mom taught in Urbana. They had a lot of high school.
Boo, I'm so bad.
The Hill Climbers. They had a lot of Ohio State players back then. They had some Rogan brothers. I think
Jeff Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Four of them played at Ohio State. I think his younger brothers played, but they didn't really start or anything like that. But loved the area. That was close to my neck of the woods when I was living up there.
Which high school would you have gone to?
Well, I actually lived with my dad when I was about to go to high school because my mom moved to Florida. I would have went to Princeton or Moeller.
Oh, I got
Moeller?
you. Yeah.
Both schools were top
one of the big dogs in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I actually went to Princeton in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade because they had a junior high school there at the time. It was an elementary feeder school to Princeton, so I probably would have went to Princeton.
Sorry, this is a regional Cincinnati question. Did you watch the Crosstown Shootout, or do you watch the Crosstown Shootout?
I've been a couple. We went to the Xavier Cincinnati games a lot because I was a big Cincinnati fan when they had Melvin Levitt and
you a Kenyon Martin fan?
Kenyon Martin, yep.
Oh yeah. All right, we're buds then.
Okay. That was the best college team I've ever seen in person, or the most exciting, I should say, because Melvin Levitt could jump out of the gym. He had like a 44-inch vert, and Kenyon Martin. They were number one in the country for about 4 or 6 weeks till Martin broke his leg, I think, that year.
We were in Chicago at that point in time, Valparaiso, and we actually watched the game where Quentin Richardson was playing for DePaul.
Yeah.
And they were down by 17, and then Kenyon takes over and DeMar hits the last-second shot to win the game.
Yeah.
So that was one of the best teams I ever seen. Yeah, you're right.
Me too.
Anyways, let's go back to football.
How did your dad like the outcome of that game? I talked to him beforehand, and I think we all kind of believed that Penn State had the most talented team, but the chemistry and the work ethic, and you can't say enough good things about Notre Dame's players. That you can tell they love one another and they play as a team. And I'd say the same thing about Penn State, honestly, but really good football game last night. What did you guys think?
Well, so Tommy Tuberville went into retirement as he was coaching for Cincinnati. You probably don't remember that he coached for Cincinnati.
Yeah,
we did.
I do.
Luke Fickell took over a mess, and Marcus Freeman was one of his first hires out of Purdue. And so we've got a lot. We love Marcus Freeman. The things he did for that program, he brought in Sauce. He was one of the first people to actually play Sauce. And I know, Coach Hale, you don't know who Sauce is, but Jason does.
Sauce Gardner.
Yes, sir. and he wasn't even supposed to play. And you know what's funny, Jason, is that Sauce made it on the scene intercepting Dylan Gabriel back in 2019.
Wow. That's how long Dylan's been around.
Exactly.
I try to tell everybody, Marcus Freeman gets a lot of credit for those defenses that people used to give Fickle for, because when Fickle moved to Wisconsin, I haven't seen that same level of defense that we saw when Freeman was with them. And he's brought that toughness to Notre Dame, and I think that's what separates Notre Dame from Penn State.
Yeah, and we're, out of all the teams, I just want to go back. I disagree. Ohio State definitely deserves to be there. If you knew me in my 20s and my 30s, you know I'm throwing up as I'm saying that. But I got a lot of respect for Ohio State. I just don't live in the state of Ohio anymore, so it makes a big difference.
Right. They'll make your life miserable if you're not an Ohio State fan.
Exactly. Especially if you're a Cincinnati, Miami, Cincinnati fan.
Yeah.
And my grandfather went to Michigan. So I've got all the schools that don't like Ohio State.
Right.
So, but like I said, they definitely deserve to be there. You know, those 2 losses they had weren't the worst losses on earth. But we love Marcus Freeman. We want as much as crazy to say, we want Notre Dame to win.
I root for Marcus Freeman. He's obviously a Ohio State alumni, played under Tressel, and you can see Tressel's imprints on his coaching style.
No
I mean, that's what concerns me, because Tressel won 5 national championships in Division II when there were playoffs, before the Division I had playoffs. So,
Youngstown State.
Yeah, that system works really well, and when you get in these tight games and you're playing good defense, running the football, controlling field position, that seems to be a winning formula. So Notre Dame's going to be a tough out for whoever wins this next game.
Hey, we got a break. I hate to do it. I'd love to talk to you more. You can call back about 8:30 if you can. We got Jeff Spiegel coming on in a little bit out of the great state of Alabama. Let me ask you this. What was your mother's name?
Susan.
And your dad's name again? What was his first name?
Heiner,
that's right. Hey, beautiful family. I really enjoyed meeting, talking to them. First-class people. Are you going to be? And did y'all have a good time at the Cajun place?
Oh, yeah. Always have a good time at Cajun Place. First time I came down here when I moved here in 2016, my wife took me there and at the old place, and try to go back as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, well, Jan and Trudy came and sat with us for a little while. And we had a great time. They do a great job. That's a great place, no doubt about that. All right, buddy, thank you so much for calling. I wish we had more time, but if you can call back later, we'll talk some more.
Yes, sir. Hey, really appreciate it, Coach.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Have a good man.
All right, let's talk about Turpro Pest Control. You want that yard look beautiful? Call Patrick. They'll make it happen. Listen to them every Monday right here at 8:30 on ESPN Northwest Florida. Next week, I'm going to do my best to try to get the basketball coaches on. I'm trying to get Arnold's coach on Monday, Rutherford Tuesday, Wednesday's always Bay Day, and then Thursday, Mosley, and Friday, Bozeman. I don't know if I can get them, but I'm going to try my best to get these back, because we're about ready to crank down the college football season.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, I want to go get some jewelry. Valentine's coming up. Where should we go? I want to go see Russ. Where's Russ located?
Go see Russ and Amber, because they're easy to find. It's easy to get to. No traffic. You don't have to worry about all that going across the bridge stuff. Highway 77 in Lynn Haven. David Adamson Designer Jewelry. They can make you a one-of-a-kind piece, or you can choose from a large selection of jewelry at David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
They do a great job down there. We'll be right back. Manley, Brant, Kovaleski, Wildcat on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the ESPN Northwest Florida Hall of Arts Magic Express. We're taking a busload of sports fanatics on the ultimate road trip to watch the Orlando Magic play the Sacramento Kings March 29th at the Kia Center. Plus hotel and food during the game. Just open the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app and click Enter Contest. Sponsored by PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Holland Arts, and Fairfield Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. This afternoon and evening, there will be a very strong breeze out of the south-southeast, a variety of very light showers and clouds, and 62. A variety of clouds and light sprinkles tonight, a little colder at 45. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and a high of 55. About the same at 54 Sunday, and we'll have very light rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Every love story deserves a perfect beginning. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we believe that your engagement ring should be as unique as your love. Explore our vast selection of certified natural and lab-created diamonds, each hand-picked for brilliance and beauty. Whether you desire the timeless allure of one of our hand-selected engagement rings or you'd like to custom design the perfect ring, visit us today and let our experts guide you in finding the ring of her dreams, because love deserves the best. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where love sparkles.
WGSX Lynn Haven, W Field 2, Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control. They take pride in caring for their customers' property by providing lawn and whole house pest control. Whether you have roaches or any other unwanted bugs in your home, Turf Pro has you covered. Or if your lawn needs weed control, fertilize, insect control, Turf Pro has you covered by providing custom treatments to meet your property's needs. No property is the same, so why should it be treated that way? Turf Pro, where the blue and yellow trucks make your lawn green. Call 850-890-5820.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide Roll. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. They're there for you anytime, and you've been freezing, and it's power bills going through the roof, all this cold weather, and it's not going away. You got to call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Let them come over. They'll get your house warmer, and they'll make sure your power bill will go down. They do a great job. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. And I tell you what, those fine folks up in Birmingham, Alabama, the legendary Jeff Spiegel, he needs his house warm right now because there's a lot of snow. What's going up in Birmingham? How many inches did y'all get?
You know what? I'm terrible at this. But okay, so last night I was coughing, and so I went to the easy chair in the living room, and this sounds so bizarre when I say this, but I guess Notre Dame inspired me. So I turned on the 1976 Alabama-Notre Dame game, which Alabama lost.
21-18, up at Notre Dame, yeah.
So I woke up at 4 a.m. and the 1980 Alabama-Notre Dame game was on.
We lost that one in Birmingham.
and then I turned around and looked, and it's just coming down like really hard outside. So I took those pictures. I think I sent those to you, those videos. And I don't know. I want to say 3 inches, but and let me say this. You know, all those times you've heard, you know, the folks a little older than us, you know, joke about walking, you know, to school in the snow uphill both ways. It's hard to walk in the snow. I just walked through my neighborhood. Holy cow, that was a workout.
Hey, Jeff, I got to tell you the story. It came right in my mind when you said that. My brother lives he's moved from Montgomery to up in Kentucky, where his wife's family's from. Right on the line, I think Ohio, maybe Indiana. I can't remember which state beside. Anyway, they got like 10 inches of snow. He gets a call, and they've got land. He gets a call, and the old guy by the house next to them, or about 350 yards from them, he fell in the snow. She can't get him up. He hurt his back. So my brother had to put all his clothes on. He goes, man, I got over there, no problem. And you're talking walking through the snow. I said, it took forever to get him up. And my brother's 75 years old, has some heart issues. He said, when I walked back through the snow and got to my house, he said, I thought I was going to drop dead from a heart attack. I couldn't, like you're talking about, it's just tough going through the snow. These two guys here grew up in that stuff, man. That's
why we live here.
Yeah. We ain't going back.
Unbelievable.
Now, we heard that Birmingham's going to shut down because nobody can drive in the snow in Alabama. Is that true?
Well, I tell you this, in my neighborhood, I'm looking and I see tire tracks where people tried to get up a hill, and then the tire tracks stop.
Yeah.
Because they had to go back down, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a little tricky around here right now. But what I love about it is if you'll just, you know, stand here and be quiet for like a minute, you can hear, we don't have that many kids in our neighborhood, but we have a few, but you can hear squeals and laughter, and it's just really a joyous thing.
Yeah.
You talking about somebody having a bad day? I just saw this, and I'm trying to pull it back up. This couple, and they look young. I don't know if they're married or not. And they're like she's crying. There's a picture of them. They posted on Facebook. They got tickets to the Ohio State-Texas game. The Buckeye fans, this is how smart they are up there. He thought they booked the flight. They're in Orlando. He thought the game was being played in Orlando. None of the games are being played in Orlando right now.
I don't believe that one. No. I saw that too.
You don't believe? You think it was fake?
Yeah. I mean, there's no way you can look at your ticket and be like, we're playing in Orlando.
Now, they're Big Ten people now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If he went to Orlando, then he deserves all
Ohio
the...
State's a fourth-place team winning the national championship.
Anyway. Jeff, let's talk about, I want to say something real quick. Merry Christmas to you. I hadn't talked to you. I hope you had a happy New Year. Did y'all have a great Christmas? Did everything go good?
Oh, incredible. Everything was great. Very blessed, and just had a wonderful time with the family, and it was beautiful.
And I want to tell you what a great man I think you are. Jamie, tell me what you did. President Carter passed away. Did you actually go up there to D.C. and see his body or whatever?
Okay, earlier in the week, I was talking to Julie about it, my Julie, and I said, just want to make sure I clarify that. And I said, wow, that'd be really cool, to go to. She said, why don't you go? I go, So we looked at plane tickets, and the first time I looked, it was like $755 or something like that. And I said, I don't think I can do that. So a friend of mine, who's, more traveled than I am, he found a ticket on American Airlines for $493.
Dang.
So we jumped all over it, and I'm telling you, it was the most amazing trip. I'm so glad I did. And the reason, he was my president when I was in high school, and I always have had great admiration for the man, for what he did for human rights and Habitat for Humanity, and just a good Christian man with high values. And I felt compelled to go. And I'm glad I did. It was an amazing experience.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. Now, during our little Christmas break there, we had to watch a bowl game down in Tampa. And
oh, boy.
That was 3 weeks prepare, 15 practices to prepare for that, play a JV. That was Michigan's JV team. They had their best players, didn't even play. Is the SEC that weak now? The Big Ten that strong? And Jeff, you know what really stuck out to me? How great Nick Saban is.
Yeah.
Every stone's unturned. Every rock is looked under. Everything is detailed perfectly. They go out there the wrong shoe. That bothered me so much. I've talked about it 5 different times now. They go out there with the wrong cleats. They slipping and sliding, and we got every type of shoe man can buy. Michigan players did not. And then when it rained, it even got worse. To me, that's one thing that stood out. Then we had a player punch another kid. They did it against Auburn. They do it again against Michigan. He got drilled in the ground by a player. The guy did a legal block, just got beat. And what do? We slap him or hit him in the head. We get a 15-yard penalty. I don't know. That's it. I'll quit being negative. But what was your take on the Alabama-Michigan bowl game?
Well, it was a microcosm of the whole season, really. I think. I mean, there were high moments, but there were really low moments. And, I guess you look at the 4 losses, and the Tennessee loss is the least egregious because, that was a good football team. But still, I mean, you had your opportunities to win that game. But then you look at the Vanderbilt game and, oh, my gosh, the Oklahoma game. I guess the Oklahoma game was probably the worst of the 3.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but they were just, and like you said, every game there was some kind of incident that showed a lack of discipline. And I think that's what gets all over people. And I think that's what they're having a hard time, reconciling with. And that's something that, he's got to get cleaned up. And Sunday night on his own, I mean, and I'm not the first person to do this. I mean, I put him on the hot seat because that's where he belongs. I mean, I think he's got to get to the playoff next year, or there's going to be enormous heat on this man. I mean, we can't see another season next season like we saw this season because it's just so. Now there were some discipline issues when the last couple of years of Saban. I'm not saying they were all perfect, but he ran a much tighter ship than Kalen DeBoer did this year.
Jeff, what do you think about DeBoer's offensive coordinator who got let go by the Seahawks? What kind of impetus or whatever is there for him to be brought into Alabama? Is that going to happen, you think, or no?
Go get him.
Well, you keep hearing stuff, but you haven't heard anything, but there hasn't been any official moves or anything. And I don't pretend to know Kalen DeBoer very well, but he doesn't strike me as someone who is, presses a panic button very easily. He and Nick Sheridan go back a few years. He and Ryan Grubb do as well. Oh, I know there's no doubt in my mind about this. Ryan Grubb was option A when it came to offensive coordinator, right? And then, Ryan got a good opportunity in Seattle. That didn't work out. So it would stand to reason that he would go back to option A if option B didn't work out very well. But I think if that does happen, I still think he finds a place on the staff for Nick Sheridan.
Right.
But it just wouldn't be his offensive coordinator.
Was there any rumors true about his wife not wanting to move to Tuscaloosa? Because I heard that was the big, hey,
his daughter's still in Washington.
Yeah,
playing.
they wanted to stay on the West Coast until she graduated or something like that. I thought it was something that wasn't necessarily football related, but something to do with his family.
I have not heard that at all.
Yeah.
I do know this. It's a tough job, man.
Yeah.
It's a tough job. And it's not just tough for the head coach. It's tough on the family.
No question.
Because they have to hear all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, you and I, we hear a bunch of stuff. But it doesn't affect us like it does, someone you've walked side by side with, for many years.
Yeah.
And who you love and cherish. And I feel for those people who are in that position.
Jim and I were talking earlier off the air about some things, and I said the most disappointing thing for me, that we grew up, watching Alabama all those years. And I will say this, watching Auburn with Shug Jordan, I know it was a different time. I get that. But even with Saban, with Stallings, Alabama players always talked about playing with class, being disciplined, and showing your class. And I think that's what we've lost. I don't see a lot of class out there when you punch a kid, when you don't come off when you kick a football, when you won't come off the field when the coaches that's what hurts my heart when I see players like that doing those things. I can handle the losses. I mean, that's part of the game. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. But the other part is something I never thought I'd see from the University of Alabama or Auburn. Or matter of fact, our state was just. Football and sports were so big in that state, and growing up and hearing those things you were taught by your coaches, and that's what bothers me is the lack of discipline.
Yeah, and you see a lot more yapping now, in college football than you ever have. And I understand, I mean, we're all athletes here. I mean, we at some level, but I mean, trash talk has been around for ages, But, there's a lot more yapping now, and then there's a lot more people, kind of losing control of their emotions, too, in games. And, that's something I think a lot of coaches are having issues dealing with, but it's something that certainly showed itself at Alabama for sure this year.
Well, part of that problem is the social media. They all know each other, and so it doesn't stop with the game. It just continues on. So then when they get out there, that brings it on too.
Yeah, they want to be seen.
I still think they got to clean this taunting up, because you got people, as soon as they attack somebody, they're up in their face, they're doing their sword thing, and I'm like, that's one play. It's every single play. Somebody celebrating somebody's face.
Regardless
it's disrespectful.
Of the score. Regardless of the score sometimes.
The flag planting stuff's another step that people think, it's just okay. You should just let them plant flags. You're never going to come on our field and plant a flag. We're going to try to beat the crap out of you. I mean, the disrespect nowadays from fans, from the players, has just gotten out of control, and nobody wants to do anything about it. And I think that's what hurt the NFL when it started to be more of a players' league than it was a game.
Wait till they start coming across the seats and like they do in soccer games. And
well, you see bottles thrown on the field now. If the bottles were being thrown last night because the fans didn't like a call. We saw the Texas game. I mean, fans, players. I mean, we were in a really disrespectful time.
You're seeing that, Jeff. You're seeing that everywhere, every phase of life.
No, that was my point.
Just like here in the studio, I'm on at the break. If I'm late at the break, Wildcat's trying to go through the dang, he's got a knife, showing me a knife and gun and stuff.
Taking a knife, running across my throat.
He gets mad at me all the time.
That's what about that.
I can't handle it.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
He's got the Mr. Miyagi headband.
Yeah. Listen, we got to take a break. Jeff, we're going to hold you over?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Jeff Spiegel, up in the great state of Alabama, and he's on ABC 33, 3344?
3340.
33-40. I knew it was something like that. Yeah. I know it. I was just messing with you. We'll be right back. We're running late. Hush, Glenn. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Says the committee's not responsible for creating the quality playoff when they're directly responsible for doing it.
I don't mind anyone giving us credit down here, but the idea that a talk show host is going to influence that committee is preposterous.
Yeah.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. This afternoon and evening, there will be a very strong breeze out of the south-southeast, a variety of very light showers and clouds, and 62. A variety of clouds and light sprinkles tonight, a little colder at 45. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and a high of 55. About the same at 54 Sunday, and we'll have very light rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. Did you know that we do more than just sell some of the finest jewelry in town? We can engrave on your wedding band, locket, Yeti cup, or almost anything. Need your watch battery changed? We can do that too. Our expert will even evaluate your coin collection. And of course, we always pay top dollar for your old gold and silver jewelry. See, there's a lot more to Tracy's Fine Jewelry than a lot of pretty sparkly things. Come and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle! Hey, Martha Kinney. Glenn.
Yeah.
Auburn up there. Hey, get out to B4 Brazen and Avon. Watch all the games. Watch the game tonight. Ohio State Buckeyes, Texas Longhorns. Kickoff is at 6:30. You listen to it right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I believe the winner of this game will win the national championship. That's just an opinion. Jeff, you know, we talking about Auburn, Hugh Freeze, hot seat. He's got players. They've knocked it out of the ballpark in recruiting. They dominate in-state recruits. They're bringing the kids in from different colleges. They're knocking out of the ballpark there. They're all on the same page. They're all together right now. Yellowwood, they're all doing a great job. There's no doubt about it. But now it's time to win some football games. Do you think in your head, is there a number in your head that he has to win next year? I don't. If he continues to recruit like this, I think they'll give him 4 years. And, well, let me take that back. I don't know. I don't know about that. What's your take on that?
You win 6 games next year.
Yeah,
you get 4.
Yeah, you're right. What do you think? What's he have to do next year to make everybody happy?
He's got to win at least 8 games.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen this year. Fans are not going to want to hear how great he's recruiting. You know, they heard all that last year. That they want to see results on the field. And it's been, I think it's been 4 straight losing seasons
It
now.
has.
You know, for Auburn. And they want to see results. All right, let's see how good this guy can coach. And, yeah, he beat Nick Saban, you know, in back-to-back seasons. But you remember that game in Tuscaloosa?
Yep.
You know, a guy threw a touchdown pass off a guy's helmet or something.
Yep.
And, I mean, it was very fluky. So, you know, he can't go back to that. He can't rest on his recruiting laurels anymore. Now we need to see this guy coach. And there's a lot of pressure on Jackson Arnold or whoever's going to quarterback this team to get this team wins. But, you know, someone asked me, well, who's on the hottest seat, you know, Breeze or DeBoer? I go, come on. There's no question it's Hugh Freeze. I mean, he's got to win at least 8 games. or they're looking again, and they should be looking again because now it's time to produce. I mean, you've got, a couple of back-to-back recruiting classes here, and get those guys on the field, and let's see how good you can coach them up.
Yeah, you're talking about coach on the hot seat in the SEC. This is the ones I believe. Auburn, no doubt. Alabama, Oklahoma, I think is the hottest. And I even say Kelly at LSU. They bring in some great 14 elite players are coming in there.
They're going to be really good this year.
They should be really good.
They should. They got to fix really the defense, good. But what they brought in the portal was amazing.
Yeah. So
I was at the airport in D.C., and I ran into this kid who's an LSU student. He was headed there for his second semester. He's from Iowa, and loves LSU football. But he said, "Look, Kelly's got one more year. It's ridiculous. We underachieved and all that." So I think you hit the nail on the head. If he reflects the opinion of the fan base, then I think you're right on the head for that one.
I think Kelly's been making some mistakes, in my opinion, in the media because he's always out there right now after they landed a few of these guys saying this is a championship, caliber roster. This is we're about championships. If you don't win a championship, you're the one that said this was a championship roster. Yeah. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself and this team. It's not going to be easy to fix that defense overnight, even though they got players. I mean, it still takes coaching and cohesion and chemistry. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Kelly this year, but they have a lot of talent with Nussmeier coming back. I think they're, in my opinion, the favorite to win the West next year.
Can I take a second and give you Auburn's schedule next year, who they have?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Not a bad schedule
all
at
right.
all.
I don't have the dates. This is just the order. At Baylor.
W.
Home to Ball State.
W.
Home to South Alabama.
W.
At Oklahoma.
Throw that one up in the air.
At Texas A&M. Georgia. Missouri. At Arkansas, Kentucky, at Vandy, Mercer, I guess Alabama got tired of whipping up on them, Mercer, and then Alabama.
That one stretch right there is tough now. Yeah. That's a lot of physical football.
Brutal.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think they can win 8 games next year.
So can they get 8 out of that?
I think so. I think because the early schedule is a little bit easier than it's been in the past.
They should beat Oklahoma.
Some momentum going.
You look what the Oklahoma's doing in recruiting compared to Auburn. I think Auburn will beat Oklahoma.
It's at Oklahoma, so I'd still give that a coin flip right now. But I think once they get that rolling and they get a quarterback set, they just got to find a quarterback that can do it. I don't know if it's going to be Arnold. I don't know if it's going to be the freshman, but they have to find a quarterback or else he's going to be in the same.
I think, didn't they get the backup from South Carolina also?
Yeah, he didn't come in,
Yeah. Well, Jeff, all right, let's talk about basketball. Auburn's basketball, if they're not ranked number 1 this week, something's wrong. They're really good. The problem is you're in the SEC, all these good basketball teams. I don't know. Are we better? I think we might be a better baseball and basketball league than football. I'm not sure anymore. But what do you think? In Auburn, are they that good?
Yeah, they're that good. I mean, Jedi Broom is like another world good. Did you see the game Saturday where he threw that pass like he had eyes in the back of his head, where he threw it cross court to Chad Baker-Mazara, and he knocked down a 3-point basket and got the foul? This guy has taken his game to like 2 different levels in the past year. I mean, he's no doubt the front runner for Player of the Year, and it's not even close. But the way Alabama played against Oklahoma, if they can put that kind of effort in, like day in and day out, I mean, to me, I think their ceiling is maybe a tad higher than Auburn's.
Wow.
Because you've just got 2 elite programs there right now that are hitting on all cylinders.
That's what Jason was telling me the other day. He said these 2 teams could make the Final Four.
I think they're the best 2 teams in the country right now if you put them together today. I mean, if you look at Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida is improving. I think they can make that next step. But right now, Alabama, Auburn, to me, are the best teams in the country.
I got to give a shout.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I got to give a shout to Coach Kurt Smith. He's up in Ohio listening to us today. And they said Coach Freeman's from Wayne High School. Yep. You know where Wayne High School is at? Yeah. Pretty cool. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Love you, man. He's a great guy. He coached for me. What do you think tonight? What's going to happen? Texas gets it done, or does the Buckeyes put it on them? I think it's the key to the game who starts quick.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I was talking to someone about this, and I told him, I said, I like Notre Dame, to beat Penn State, like the way Notre Dame is playing. But now Ohio State, I don't just like the way they're playing. I love the way they're playing. I mean, they come out with an anger, with an edge. And, to me, it's like ever since the Michigan game, it's like the Ohio State Buckeye football team versus the Ohio State fans. That it just strikes me that way. That, they go, oh, yeah, you guys are ticked off at us? Well, we'll show you. We don't care if you don't cheer for us anymore.
We don't need you.
We'll show you how good we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Will Howard, the revenge tour, he mentioned last week that when he was at Kansas State, he never beat Texas. So check that one off. There you go. But Texas defense now is pretty elite.
Oh, yeah.
And they're pretty good at stopping folks. But to me, the Texas offense turns the ball over way too much. And Ohio State is just too explosive right now, so I like the Buckeyes to win that one.
Yeah, I think the national championship game's played tonight. What did you think about last night? I love the effort that both teams gave. I think they both have a high-class program, but I got to give a lot of credit to Notre Dame, though. I love listening to their kids being interviewed, their head football coach. I was impressed with them. They find ways to win.
Well, I love the fact that, here in Alabama, we don't have a dog in the fight, but if you talk about a dog, a guy who plays like with just 110% of every ounce of fiber in his body, that Riley Leonard is a football player.
Yeah.
That kid is just something else. And now you get it from a lot of people who go, why didn't Alabama recruit this guy? Why didn't Auburn recruit this guy? You know what I mean? You hear a lot of that. But I love that kid and love the way, he puts his team on his back. And at the end of the game, dude never takes any credit.
I love that, yeah.
Never takes any credit for the victory. He always passes it around to his teammates.
Yeah, because she came up to him after the game, wanted to congratulate him on how great of it. He's like, look, those guys carried me tonight. I didn't make very good throws, so I just appreciate my teammates. And he was giving everybody credit but himself. But that kid just finds a way to win. You can see it in his mind just on the sidelines. You got to kill that guy to beat him. And just love the competitiveness.
Did you see the third-team running back?
Oh,
he did good. And they were flying through the flu and everything else. I enjoyed that game last night.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, but hey, thank you. I know you're busy. I know how hard you work, and I really appreciate you spending time with us. People enjoy listening to you here in the Panhandle of Florida, and thank you so much for what you do.
Well, hey, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too, buddy. See you next week. We'll talk to you next week, Jeff. Thank you, sir.
All right, take care.
All right, let's talk about something. Jason, let's talk about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. How can we get up with you?
Yeah, we're on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village. So we have our InBody 570, which tracks results. So you can come use that for free. We have our free sample bar. So if you're looking for a new pre-workout protein, amino acids, our vitamins are excellent. We got greens products. We got liver products. We got test boosters. We got everything you need for overall health, stuff to build your immune system. But you can come into our place, try the products for free at a free sample bar. And then we got local military first responder discounts daily. So come see us either in the Del Coronado Village or in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay, we'll be right back. We're going to talk about the Ohio State-Texas game, give our picks, and talk about everything else going around in college athletics. We'll be right back. 104.3. Give us a call. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer.
Live men's and women's professional wrestling returns to Panama City on Saturday, February 8th at the Bay Charter Academy.
Come see the most exciting professional wrestling on the Panhandle.
Wrestling Against Cancer number 10. Proceeds go toward Ryan Holland's cancer expenses. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
More information, ESPNPC.com.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorrento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the
the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Want to know the inside scoop on your favorite teams? From the gridiron to the hardwood to the diamond. For comprehensive sports coverage, it's ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Wildcat, you've done a great job this week. I want to tell you that. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Pleasure to be here, as
Put the
always.
knives away.
Take that bullet out of the gun. Glenn, thank you for filling in 3 times this week. Appreciate that. Glenn decided not to play golf this week with the cold weather.
Did you and Conrad play any golf over the break?
We did over the break, but not this week. We had
brutal.
You sissy, you big sissy.
I know.
Ball hurts when you hit it with 30
You
degree
gonna let him
weather.
talk to you that way?
Well, I am right now because
You ever watch Goodfellas?
I got my back to him, so I can't.
Remember the movie? And you gonna let him talk to you this way?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
A little bit.
You talking to me?
You talking to me?
A little bit.
Anyway, all right, I'm going to talk about the Ohio State and Michigan. They've only played 3 times.
Texas.
This will be the
Ohio
Texas,
State,
Ohio State, whatever. Ohio State, Texas. The history of this game, this will be the first time they played since 2009 Fiesta Bowl. In 2025, Texas will travel to Columbus and play the Buckeyes on August 30th. Now, back in 2000, I think it was 2005, Texas played at Ohio State. They won the game 25-22. The next year, Texas goes into Austin. They beat Texas 24-7. In 2009 Fiesta Bowl, number 3 Texas beat number 10 Ohio State Buckeyes 24-21.
Yeah, the games have all been close.
Yeah. So this, now don't shoot me. This, I'm a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you 3 what your opinions are. I'm going to tell you if you're right or wrong. The answers are going to be determined by the guy from CBS that wrote this article. All right, let's start. We're breaking down this game. Ohio State, Texas quarterbacks. Who has the edge? We know Howard's an extremely good player. We know who Ewers started out as a Buckeye, transferred to went back to Texas. Who has the better quarterback, in your opinion, Glenn? Who has the edge, the Buckeyes or Texas?
That's hard to answer because they both have, their strong points. But I guess with all the hoopla, I guess you'd say Ewers has the view.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you say?
I'm going with Will Howard. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the country this year. He threw for 73% completion rating, was tied with Dylan Gabriel. I know everybody looks at that Michigan game and thought he was, a bad quarterback, but he's been good all year for us. I mean, he's been playing as good as anybody in the playoffs, throwing for 76% completion rating. I think he's, 800 yards in that time frame, 4 touchdowns, I think no picks. So I just think he may have a little bit more physical gifts from the pocket, but he makes some dumb decisions sometimes, been turning the ball over, and I think that hurts them more than helps.
Jim, who has the advantage at quarterback, Texas or Ohio State?
I think Ohio State does. I think Ewers is nicked up a little bit too. He was never a great runner,
right?
But he can run around just kind of enough. But I'm on the Will Howard train. I mean, he's the difference on offense. And what about Kyle McCord? Okay, Kyle McCord can throw for 9,000 yards at Syracuse.
Right.
That doesn't make him better than Will Howard.
No.
I think Howard has got to be, like somebody just said, he's never beaten Texas when he was at Kansas State, which is not a surprise, really. But I think Will Howard's better. But it depends on your weapons, too. I mean, that's a big part of it at that position.
CBS expert, whoever wrote this article, and I forgot to write his name down, I apologize. The edge at quarterback goes to the Ohio State Buckeyes. So, Glenn, you were wrong.
There you go.
You're never wrong.
It's all subjective.
According to CBS.
Yeah, but you asked me this question between two Buckeye guys.
Well, I know. The first 6 weeks of the season, that would have been Ewers hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, so,
Yeah, Ewers has kind of been nicked up.
He's just so inconsistent. I mean, his good is just as good as anybody's, but his bad is really bad sometimes.
The next breakdown of this huge ball game tonight at 6:30 on ESPN, Texas versus the Buckeyes. Skill talent. Who has the best skill talent?
Start with these two guys first, because I don't know all this.
I'll start here. We'll go. No, let's start with Jim. We'll go around. And we're talking skill players. We're talking receivers, running backs.
My eyes are bugging out for those who...
Break it down.
Ohio State by a mile. Not even close. I mean, Michigan. Texas has got some good players, but they're not Jeremiah Smith. They're not Emeka Ibuka. They're not Trey Henderson. It's not even close. That's my opinion.
I agree. Jeremiah Smith is a generational talent. You'll never see another. Well, I don't say never. It'll be a long time before you see another freshman come in and have the impact that he's had. I mean, he's a legit 6'4", 220, 4'4".
I've tried to think about this. It's not the same position, but I'm thinking, what freshman has ever come in and had the impact on their team like he has? The only one I can think of is Herschel Walker.
Right.
That's a long time ago, but he was a running back.
Now, Julio Jones did the same thing.
No, he did.
They were national champs, though. I don't know if Julio Jones was. They probably were because they won it every year because that's what Alabama is.
But I do think their running backs are underrated. Trayvon Henderson runs a 10-300 meters, and in context,
he was untouched on that counter.
That is Olympic caliber speed from a 212-pound running back, and I just think Ibuka is just such a professional. He's going to go first round too. I mean, I just think the skill position player is a clear advantage for Ohio State in this one.
Now, can we get some fair, balanced opinion? Glenn, go ahead.
I'm inundated with facts here. Don't be messing me up with a fact. But, I really, it's hard for me to pull for a guy I can't even pronounce his name. So, but anyway.
Who's that?
Ooga Booga, whatever his name is.
Ibuka.
Okay, thank you.
Ibuka.
So, but yeah, you're talking to an East Nashville grad. So, anyway, I think Ohio State does. I would think the Smith guy and everything. So, Ohio State too.
Now, I think you three are right, but it's not like Ohio State, like Texas doesn't have skilled players.
No, they're not bad.
Ohio State does not have what's his name?
Yeah,
the actor.
Texas has got Bonds. They got Golden. They got. Now their running backs, their best two got hurt early in the year. They're
TJ Baxter.
Yeah, and they've had to rely on young kids and stuff like that. But the experts say edge for skilled talent, Buckeyes, Ohio State. So far. Quarterback, it goes to Ohio State. Skilled players, it goes to Ohio State. Offensive line, we might disagree on this one. Jason, we'll start with you. Who has the best offensive line? Who has the edge, Texas or Ohio State?
If they're healthy, Texas had the best offensive line this year. I mean, they got 2 first-round picks at tackle, but the problem is they're both banged up. So I'm still going to go with Texas just because I've seen them all year. I think they have the higher-end talent, especially at tackle. We do have a patchwork offensive line right now. I think they're playing as good as anybody. But, I mean, if healthy, Texas has probably the best offensive line in the country.
Glenn, who has the best offensive line?
Not so fast, my friend. No, it's hard. I tell you what, I'm just going to say Ohio State. I think they've been able to put it together, even though they're patching it up, and they're moving some bodies on that line of scrimmage. So yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put facts on you. Okay, facts. Since from Indiana forward, Ohio State has given up one sack. Now. That's against Indiana. That's against Tennessee. That's against Michigan. That's against
Penn State.
1 sack. Somebody has got to be doing the job.
Right.
And
that's without you 2 starters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's my only point. Though.
And the big reason why is I always talk. I was an offensive line coach. Scheme matters.
For sure.
What you do matters, and they've simplified it. So watch Ohio State play. So much of their running play now is counters. Front side blocks down, backside guys pull. Any high school kid can do that. Anybody. We did it forever.
I love that play.
We love that play.
Yeah.
32 or 36X. That's what we ran. And it's easy. That's why it's good. And it's not zone blocking where everybody's got to come off together, mash, and climb the linebacker crap. Block down and kick out. And that's why they're better. Now, NFL guys, I don't know. Texas rather probably has the NFL-ready guys. They probably do. The guy won the Outland Trophy at left tackle. He's got to be doing something right. But I'm kind of like what Glenn said. The way they're playing now, I would give the edge to Ohio State.
All right, CBS experts. The edge of the offensive line goes to the Texas Longhorns.
Of course.
Okay. Front seven. Who has the best? Glenn, we're going back to you first. Sorry. The best front seven, is it Texas or is it Ohio State? We're talking defense, front seven.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah, help me out.
You mean the front seven on offense?
Now, I will say this. The experts said, I'm not going to tell you who they said right now, but they said this is a close call. This is really close.
I agree with that. I think it's the closest of all of them.
That's a hard choice. I was thinking the same thing, but you know what? I'm going to say Ohio State again. I'm just going to say because they've been pretty tough here in the last 3 or 4 games, and you know, and I know I just can't. I still see Arizona State running the football up and down the field right there.
Right.
So I'm just going to go with Ohio State on this.
I am going to lean Ohio State on this one. I think Texas is as good, but I think their talent is a little younger. I know, is it White or Simmons? It's a freshman that won Freshman of the
Simmons.
Year. Okay, he's tremendous off the edge. But you got 4 or 5 guys that are 4 or 5 year seniors on that line. Tyleik Williams, to me, is the best defensive tackle left in the playoffs. I mean, he's been dominant. He's going to be a first-round pick. You got Sawyer and Tuamala. They got Kenyatta Jackson and Curry coming off the bench. So they're rotating 4 guys at defense end and 2. They're probably got 8 or 9 deep right now on the defensive line. And then Cody Simon's playing as good as anybody in the country at linebacker. So I got Ohio State in this, but I think this is really, really close. I have a lot of respect for Texas's front seven. I think they can give Ohio State trouble. And if Ohio State can't run the ball, this is going to be a closer game than what people are saying.
Well, you got to figure out by now. I'm going to go Ohio State. They're leading the NCAA in like every statistical category.
Right.
Number 1 in scoring, number 1 total defense, number 1 pass defense, 5 in run defense, 5. Texas is 13. Like you said, red zone defense, they're 2. Sacks, they're 3.
Against Oregon, 13 tackles for losses, 8 sacks.
And the thing that you got to add in there, you talk about the front seven. He's not technically part of the front seven, but the way they're playing Caleb Downs, he might as well be a linebacker.
In the box,
He's tremendous.
They're letting him just roam the field and just play where he wants to.
He's the best I've seen.
They have that much trust in him.
He's so much better than I thought he was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
God. Don't shoot me, but the experts, close, extremely close, slight edge to Texas by the expert. That's CBS now. It's not SEC.
I'm not hating on it. They got some high-end talent there. I just think they're younger.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like second or third. I mean, that's...
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many of them, and we're pumped up about this one. And Glenn coached these kids. Glenn knows the family real. I do. They're wonderful people. My God. Vandergrift's legendary family here. Don coached, 35 years?
At least
35 years. And Judy ran for superintendent. She did all kinds of things. She's the commissioner, city commissioner of Lynn Haven. Well, her son Kyle and his great partners,
Justin Nyland.
Justin, all those guys.
And that, they're working, whatever company they work with.
Yeah, and they're going to open up a new thing. It's going to be kind of, it's a sports thing. They're going to recognize people that have done things here in the past, all the different schools. You're going to see pictures down there. You're going to see all kinds of things. It's going to be cool. But it's a downtown historical Panama City. It's called the Local 115 on Harrison Avenue. That's an oyster sports bar theme. They're going to have oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbo, soup, salads, wings, ice cold beer. Nothing fried, a healthier option. We'll be when that opens up. We'll be down there. I think we're getting really close, and we'll let you know exactly.
They have state inspection today, so
it's getting close. Yeah. We're getting really close. So we're pumped up about that. Hey, get out Jay Michaels Day. Get Chris Fish. It's incredible. The best seafood. The coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael. South Oak Title and Closing for all real estate closing. It's got to be Chuck Tucker. It's got to be South Oak Title and Closing. They're number 1. I'll say it right in a minute. They're incredible. Also, Stevenson Air Condition. It's going to be really cold this weekend again. Today it's going to get up in the 60s, I think, but then it's going to go straight to the bottom again. And if you're freezing, that power bills are going through the roof, and it just runs, it's not getting any warmer, don't sit there and do that. Don't waste your money. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll come out, and they'll solve all your problems. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. If you get injured, go call the legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. Listen to every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, home of the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, push it in. College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Rampant.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. This afternoon and evening, there will be a very strong breeze out of the south-southeast, a variety of very light showers and clouds, and 62. A variety of clouds and light sprinkles tonight, a little colder at 45. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and a high of 55. About the same at 54 Sunday, and we'll have very light rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The big one tonight, 6:30 from Dallas, Texas. The Ohio State Buckeyes will play the Texas Longhorns. The winner will go play Notre Dame for the national championship on January 20th. And I truly believe the winner tonight will win the national championship. All right, we have been breaking this thing down. Let's go to the DBs. I know who I think is the best defensive back team in the country. Who has the best secondary? The Texas Longhorns. Who has the edge, Texas or Ohio State? Glenn?
Well,
you can give a push now. You can say push.
No, I'm not pushing. So,
you are pushing. You are pushy, though.
No ties.
The pusher, man. Boy, that's close too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go with Texas on that, I think.
Okay, who you got?
The Thorpe Award winner. I just think Caleb Downs is the best defensive player in the country right now. I mean, what he's done to help them. I mean, he comes down the box. He's playing the pass. He's coming up and run support. And don't sleep on Lathan Ransom. I mean, Lathan Ransom is playing as good as Caleb Downs is. Those safety tandems really have helped in run support, and they're making quarterbacks' lives miserable because they're getting after the quarterback. They're not able to leave the pocket. I'm going to go Ohio State, but this one's very close. Don't sleep on Jada Barron. He won the Thorpe Award, deservedly so. I thought Caleb Downs should have won it, but both of them are super good players. But Ohio State by a slim margin on that one.
Okay, you know me and my statistics, okay? In the whole season, Ohio State has given up 6 touchdown passes. 6. 4 of them were to Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Okay, so on all the other teams, 12 other teams, how many touchdowns does that leave?
2.
2. They've given up 2 touchdown passes to anybody not named Dylan Gabriel. So are they good? Yeah, they're real good. But defense is a product of what you have in front of you too.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So the way they're playing now with the rushing the pass, because that wasn't always true all season, but it is now. I mean, they're 8 sacks against Oregon. I think they're really good. Ohio State. I think they got the edge.
CBS. This is what the experts at CBS said. They picked Ohio State, and they said the reason was downs. Not all what they say he's got the whole pack. He can, like you said, he can stop the run, he can cover, he can play man, he can do it all.
He's the Jeremiah Smith of the defense.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's like me. I think he was the best defensive back in the country, and they kind of agree with that. All right, coaching. Neither one of them have won a national championship. Pressures on both of them. At Texas, you got to win huge also. He's got it turned around, seems like. They're playing, they're 2 games, both of them are 2 games away from winning a national championship. Who has the edge in coaching, Glenn? Day or Stark?
I like the whole combination of Ohio State's coaching staff.
I just think that's a big difference.
I think, I think the coaches are pretty even, but I might have to go with Ohio State because they got, with Chip Kelly, they've switched the offense around a little bit, and I think Day is kind of giving it over to him and let him do it. And then, he's more of a manager this year, and I think he's more determined to let somebody else help him when it comes down to that. So I'm just going to say Ohio State.
I say Ohio State, too. The addition of Chip Kelly was a big deal. I mean, I was kind of waiting for it all year. Like, okay, well, when is he going to make a difference? Well, he's certainly made a difference now.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's close. Texas is really good. We're giving an edge to Ohio State and everything because they're really good, but Texas is good too, so we'll see.
I agree, and Glenn made a great point. You're a product of your coordinators, and Chip Kelly and Jim Knowles are probably the 2 best tandem in college football right now. I think either one of them could have won the Broyles this year. I think what Knowles has done with that defense has been amazing because if you remember 3 years ago, that defense was like awful. I mean, the Georgia game, they gave up 42, scored 41, but just not enough. So that's been a 2-3 year turnaround, and he's done a tremendous job. I have a lot of respect for Sarkisian. I think we're going to see some stuff from their offense we haven't seen all year. We might even see some Manning packages, so I don't sleep on him. But when you look at their records, Ryan Day's 65-10, and
68.
Sarkisian's a 500 coach over his career. I give a slight day to Ryan Day because of the coordinators.
CBS, they said the more consistent one is Coach Day over Coach Stark. So they went the Buckeyes. Kicking game, I really don't know. I just know that was a big part of them beating Arizona State, Texas's kicking game. Who has the best kicking game?
I don't think either one of them is very good, but I do know that Texas just replaced their kicker after just being absolutely disastrous against Arizona State.
And that kid was their all-time leading field goal maker.
He was a good kicker up until recently, so I think the nerves are getting to a little bit.
Or something.
But, I think and Ohio State hasn't been great either. Our kicker missed 2 chip shots against Michigan that cost him the game.
But he's been good since then.
Yeah, he's only missed 3 field goals on the year. 2 of them just happened to be in the biggest moments of his life. So slight edge to Ohio State, but I'm not confident in either one of their kicking games, to be honest.
Well, I'm going to hold you last. You're the expert
he's the
on kicking. Who you got?
I'm kind of like what Jason said. I would have given it to Texas prior to Arizona State for sure, but then he missed 2 point blank ones that could have won the game for him. Yeah. So we'll see.
Now, the kicking game covers so much. That's the reason I want Glenn's point. You're talking about PATs, field goals, kickoff, punts, the return team, the coverage team. Who do you think these 2 teams has the advantage in the kicking game?
I think, the kicking part, nobody really and truly, unless you've had to stand back there, it's not just you. It's the snap, the hold. It's all kind of timing because really and truly, when they're doing extra points, they just get in front of them. They don't block them.
Right.
You're telling them, okay, we're going to kick it in 1.3 or 1.2, so we're just going to put a hand out. As long as they don't have a straight path to you, it's your responsibility.
Right.
And it comes down to this. If they don't think about it, it's muscle memory. But you go, gosh, if I don't make this, we're not doing it. But I just think the punt. Both teams have a great kickoff guy. The ball goes in there. I think the coverage kind of goes to Texas. I think they have a little more speed on that. And as far as the punt returners, I think that's pretty even. I think this is going to be really even. But if I just kind of looking at what I've seen, I would just give the edge to Texas just a little bit.
You were right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Ohio State now has beaten the number 1 team in the country, the number 3 team in the country, the number 5 team in the country, the number 7 team in the country, and now they're getting ready to play again a new number 3 team in the country, the Texas Longhorns. We broke it down. We looked at it. We talked about it. Glenn, who wins this game?
I say the Buckeyes win.
Okay. Jason Cole, I'll save you last. Jim, what's going to happen?
I think the Buckeyes, it'll be like 28-17, something like that. 28-14.
Competitive?
Kind of. I don't think they're going to come out of the gate like they did against Oregon and Tennessee. Right. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Texas is going to be a little bit more emotionally ready to play than those last two. Tennessee wanted nothing to do with that
right.
game. Oh, it's too cold. My helmet got cracked. Guys, let's take it to the house. My hammy hurts. But
Jason?
I think Texas is tired of hearing Ohio State's hype. I think they're going to come out strong, and I think this is going to be a battle, especially in the first half, because they got athletes that people don't realize. But I just think Ohio State just has too many weapons. When you got a Jeremiah Smith, it doesn't matter if he's covered. You can throw it up to him and make a play. Plus, I think their offensive line's gelling, which it gives a lot of teams trouble when they don't pressure Will Howard.
All right, we got a second. If you're watching the game tonight, if Texas is not putting their quarterback Howard on the ground and affecting his mind, if they don't do that, they're going to get blown out.
They have to get out to a fast start.
Yeah. Texas got to put pressure on the court. They got to hit him. They got to get in his mind. They got too much talent at Ohio State. But I'm going to tell you this. I remember all this talk back in 2004 or 5 when Texas went out to the Rose Bowl and beat USC. I got Ohio State winning the game. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. We are out.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
We need to rebrand rest in 2025. We live in a rise and grind society, and when we chill, we say things like, we're lazy.